Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Black Girl Encourage Her. I am so delighted to be before you all on today, and I brought another gem to razzle dazzle a little bit on you all so that you all will get these nuggets of encouragement and inspiration to just help us to keep going. So she is a new friend to me. So I want to introduce you all to my new sister friend, Miss Danni Benson. Hey, girl. Hey.
My God. First of all, I just want to tell you I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of everything that you're doing. I am so proud of you being an inspiration to others. And in a time of uncertainty, sometimes when it comes to us being women and managing so many things, I'm so happy there's lights like you that's shining on the world, that's helping our women carry on with the flashlight. So thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Listen, I know a little bit about you. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danni Benson. I am the founder of Self Love Day, and I also have a podcast. I'm proud of you, sis. I've been doing it for 4 years now, over 100 shows. But my passion is mental health, and especially in our babies right now. So I have a bill in the New York State legislature that I'm working with Assembly person and New York State Senator on mental health with our kids. So that has been a passion of mine. And I feel that if we all know that our feelings matter, if we all know that we can deal with our childhood traumas in real time, just like we deal with a broken leg in real time, if we all know that there's someone out there as small as first grade, knowing that there's someone that speaks about feelings, I think we would save so many lives with, I don't know, people get into adulthood and realize, like, oh my God, I had traumas, childhood traumas, because as kids, we don't have the words. So we don't even know what it is until we're older.
I get it. I get it. And I'm grateful to you for just kind of segueing us in as to where I really wanted us to talk about. Now, we know May was mental health awareness, but I am such an advocate. I want us to continue the conversation about mental health, mental well-being, because like you said, if we start to embed it into our lives now, we can then put it into the future. We can put it into the children that are coming up and the grandchildren that are coming up. And then we can start a new trend, not where we're, it's all about me, but it is about my mental health and well-being. So as we were coming into this interview, you were telling me about how tired you were. Girl, tell us what you've been doing today. Why are you so tired?
Oh my goodness, I am exhausted. I've been saying this for the last couple of days. First of all, I want to shout out my birthday is on Sunday. Happy birthday today! So that's why I'm exhausted because I think I'm getting a little older. But no,
True.
I'm exhausted because I am a mom. I have twins. They're graduating this year. They're graduating in one, like I guess 2 weeks from now. So they're going from elementary school to middle school. So they're learning how to switch classes. They have all these activities going on. And then also as a mom, I'm trying to grind my entrepreneurship, meeting with politicians that has to do with my with the engagement I'm trying to do with New York State legislator with the bill I'm trying to. It is already introduced, but trying to get it into the calendar for 2025. So it's about politicking and talking and convincing like this is very important for our children and generations to come. Also putting in some self care to myself. Because you gotta look a little good, even sometimes if you don't feel a little good inside, you gotta look good outside. So
Yeah.
just trying to manage that and also managing the household.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I don't know how parents did it, but I think it's different now. I think as women, we have more on our laps. We
Yeah.
wear so many different hats. And sometimes I want to say, like, I wish I could sleep in, but I can't because it's time to make the donuts almost every second of the day. Like I can't rest, because if I rest, then I'm not having income coming in. So it gets exhausting. It gets exhausting. And I know there's a lot of women out there who know what I'm saying, because you got to know what I'm saying, because it's crazy right now, especially if you have children. It's insane.
Exactly. Listen, the grind is definitely grueling and it is draining to say the least, but we understand the importance of it. And so that's why we stick to the charge. So, in the midst of all of your busyness and everything that you're doing, you're pulled here, you're pulled there. I can relate. I know there's plenty of women screaming at the screen, like, yes, I can relate. You are not the only one. But let us know, how does Danny cope with all of this? What are some of the secrets to you making it look flawless? Because you showed up, you're bright, you're bubbly, you look beautiful. What is it that you're doing? What's the secret sauce that you can share with us?
My secret sauce is God. I am a testimony. I talk to God like he is my best friend. I mean, my kids sometimes used to be like, you're talking to yourself, until they realize, like, I'm not
Oh,
talking to
here she
myself.
goes talking to God again.
Talking to God. I'm talking to God. But with a lot of prayer, with a lot of like, I actually have like a prayer room.
Hmm.
It's like in my bathroom. That's like my only sanctuary that I tell my kids you're not allowed in. So in my bathroom, I have like, anytime God speaks to me, I have like a post-it in a pen. It's like slap, 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 because I hear him talk. I know people are like, "What are you talking about?" I know when it's God's voice, and He tells me, "Calm down. It's gonna be okay." So when He says that, I'm like, "Okay, it's gonna be okay." So I relax. Also, I do meditation, because I have to breathe in and out. Because if I don't, I feel that the negativity stays in you if you're not letting it out through breath. And what happens is it's harmful to your health. It wakes up it wakes up cancer cells that were just dormant, and all of a sudden it just says, oh, there's anxiety in the body. Oh, there's stress in the body. And stuff feeds on negative stuff, right? It gives it life, right? So I have to make sure that I do my daily routine of just learning how to relax, learning how to meditate, having my prayer period in there. Like this morning, I get up at 5 in the morning, and I text one of my friends, and she's like, "Girl, you still doing that 5 in the morning thing?" I'm like, "Yeah," because those hours I have to dedicate to me praying to God, me putting my day on a piece of paper to put what's most important that I have to accomplish first, then what's in the middle, and what's not that important where I could push it to the next day, so I don't feel overwhelmed that I have to accomplish everything that's on my to-do list. Also gives me the quiet time because the kids are still sleeping. So it gives me my me time. That's when I do my facials. That's my when I might do my hair. Sometimes I'm in the bath with a bubble bath sometimes at 5 in the morning while everyone's sleeping. But I have to find that time, because once those kids wake up, the phone starts ringing the same time the kids start waking up, the scheduling starts scheduling, and
Yes.
I'm on the go.
Uh-huh.
I'm on
Uh-huh.
the go.
Yes, I'm sure we can all relate to it, myself included. And it is so important to ground yourself. And I love how that's the way you have committed to focusing your day. It's about grinding. Before you start the grinding, you're grounding yourself into God. And I love that. And it is so essential. And I love when my guests come on and speak that, because everybody thinks you just wake up like this. They see the people in the stars and the celebrities on the stage, and they literally think that it's just this easy road, and then ta-da, they wake up and they're sparkling. And it's like, no, it takes self work. So I love that you're such a mental health advocate and that you're actually walking this thing out. You're not just up there in legislation telling everybody, oh, this is what you should be doing and this is what you should be doing. No, you are actually putting the practice in your own day to day life. And here's what I did glean from you, is that it doesn't stop the grind. So all of the stuff, like you said, the schedule is going to be scheduling. Like all of the stuff is still going to be you're still going to do it. You're just going to be able to do it gracefully.
Yes. And,
And
and,
that's
and,
beautiful.
and able to do it in a place of just knowing that this is part of my path.
Mhm.
Just knowing that, like, that's why I love to pray. That's
Yeah.
why I love to meditate, because in the world of so much noise, in the world of, there's so much competition, in the world of so many no's, because I gotta get my day ready for the no's, I gotta get my day ready for the rejection, I gotta get myself, I have to have an armor on
Mm,
before I put my clothes on. I do these rituals because I have to have an armor on to get ready for the day to come.
yes.
Because if I don't have my armor on,
Mm,
this world and their opinions will break you down,
yeah.
right? But you have to find that belief in yourself. And how you find that belief in yourself is actually having a relationship with yourself.
Mhm.
You have to know you're the only person that can make you happy. Like sometimes when people say, well, he's not making me happy, I'm like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
You are the only one that can make you happy. You are the only one that only knows you.
Yep.
No other human knows you better than you. And if you don't know you, it's time to look in the mirror and find out who you are. That's why I came up with Self Love Day, because I had to find a love within myself.
Hmm.
There was periods of time that I didn't love myself. And I was looking for other people to love me, just to get that energy from them so I could fill me up. And I
Yes.
realized that people are temporary.
Mhm.
So if you're waiting on people to fill you up, if you're waiting on people to make you happy, then what happens when they're not there?
Mhm.
So that's when you have to find out, like me, myself, and I, it's not like a selfish thing. I'm not talking about narcissism at all. I'm talking about self love and self care,
Yes.
pouring into yourself, checking in into yourself, and looking at your dirtiest underwear,
Mm,
because we're not perfect, and facing it and taking accountability for it. And finding out the solutions to make you into a better human being. This is the relationship you have with yourself. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not even close to being perfect, but my goal is to thrive, to give myself that love, so I can give kindness to other people, so I don't pour hate into other people. Do you understand? Because if I love myself and I'm happy with myself, I'm less likely to bring someone else down in order to use that mechanism to lift me up.
mm. You talking good right there. And
Uh-huh.
that's what we see that a lot in today's society. It's like in order for someone else to feel good about themselves, it's that they have to rag someone else down. So in order for you to think your hair looks good for the day, you got to pick on somebody else's hair. Or, in order for you to feel good about your body type, you got to rag somebody else down. And it really is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So I love this concept that you came up with about self-love day, and you're really advocating to get this celebrated and promoted in starting from the youth, starting with the youth. And one of the things that I wanted to talk with you about is it's nice that we want to make certain that the kids are feeling good about themselves, they're affirming themselves, they're not depending on the world to do that for them. Let's talk to the full grown adult for a minute, who did not get that growing up, who didn't get that affirmation, who didn't understand the concept of self love is not selfishness. What would you say to that adult who is dealing with the childhood traumas of just life? I'm not talking anything major, but just of life. What would you say to that adult?
I'm a firm believer of I'm a firm believer that everyone needs therapy.
Mhm.
I am a firm believer that, and I know especially in our community, we our generations before us have expressed, they don't have trust in the
Mhm.
medical field, because experiments that was done to us, including the Tuskegee, airmen,
Mhm.
and in vast experiments that were made to us that wasn't even reported. Like just for instance, black women don't feel any pain. But sometimes I feel that people think that black people don't feel any pain is because black women always want to say they're strong.
Mhm.
They're strong. And what happens is if that is what you want to keep saying all the time to black women are strong, black people are strong, then there's other demographics that might feel like, okay, if they keep saying they're strong, maybe they don't feel any pain.
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
in a place where it's okay not to be strong.
Yeah.
It's okay to say I need help.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you weak. It's okay. Like I understand we're strong because it's more of a prideful thing that we feel like, okay, we could do this all ourselves. But I feel that it's okay to just be soft. Just hey, can you help me? Hey sister, can you help me? Like I believe in the village.
Yeah.
I'm not as strong as my village because sometimes I have to pass over and admit I can't do this. I need help. Can you please help me? It doesn't make you weak. And you know what? I am a product of therapy. So when I speak about therapy between God, let me tell you something about God. I meet people all the time. They say that they're tired of their parents saying "got it out" because they want to go to therapy. And you go to the churches, and we were taught, you go to God, you go to God. God's gonna help your mental. God's gonna keep you strong. But you know what? When something is wrong with you physically,
Mhm.
you don't tell that person. You tell that person to pray to God, but you also tell that person, hey, go get your diabetes in check. Hey,
Mhm.
go get your high blood pressure in check. Hey, go get that colonoscopy because it might save your life. So for anything physical, yes, we pray to God, but we tell people, but hey, God wants you to help yourself. So go make sure you get checked, right? Go make sure everything is okay in there, right? So what happens to mental health? What happens when you're going through some trauma that you can't deal with? A divorce, you lost a child, your child's on drugs, you lost someone you care about, you lost a friendship, you lost a husband. So many things can happen on a daily basis. Yes, I do go pray to God,
Mhm.
but I also have to understand that God wants me to help me too. So I go and I speak to someone. And yes, I have tons of friends that I could speak to, but sometimes my friends are busy. I have
Mhm.
tons of family I could speak to. Sometimes my family is busy. So I want to speak to someone who is completely biased to the situation, who will give me um, some feedback and give me some suggestions of how I can pull myself out of this negative feeling that I'm feeling right now. And it's like a relationship. I tell people about therapy all the time. It's like dating someone. The first guy you meet might not work out. It's the same
Mhm.
thing as therapy. People say, "Oh, I've been to therapist. Oh, it didn't work out." And I tell people all the time, it's like a relationship you have. You keep finding that person, and you will eventually find that person that gets you, and you get them.
Yeah.
And that's what therapy is about. And I think everyone needs therapy because I think the world is screwed up right now. I look at the chaos that's going on. Too many egos are clashing. I feel like a humanity is slipping away. And I think that our center is our heart, which is connected to our brain. So
Mhm.
if our brain is not functioning at its fullest capacity of love and care and humanity, then it shuts down our heart, and then we're cruel to the world and we're cruel to each other.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
cruel to each other. So what I tell adults is, you don't have to tell your you're going to therapy. You don't have to tell anyone you're going to therapy. It's really no one's business. Only thing you have to do is make the phone call, and it's between you and God. He's the only person that has to know is God, and
Mhm.
and your therapist. No
Mhm.
one needs to know, so you don't have to feel any shame
Yeah.
because no one needs to know. But you need to know why your traumas has caused you so much pain, and then in finding that, it will help you build your life back together.
Yeah.
Not to say that your life is destroyed, but it will give you some insight into the direction that you need to take to get to that place that you want to go to.
I love that. And I'm a firm believer if you want to go to the next level, it's going to require your growth. It's going to require some pruning. It's like a garden. Like you have to prune, you have to cut away at some things in order for you to sprout out anew. And I'm a firm believer that therapy helps. It helps you to tap in. It helps you to go deeper. It helps you to explore the roots. You, as an adult, might just say, oh, I'm always like this. This is just the way I am. But therapy can help you figure out why you believe that this is just who you are. And when you uncover that, when you get to the root and to the bottom of it, now that's where the healing takes place. Now
And
you start to heal, and that healing causes you to grow.
it causes you to grow, and it causes you to look back in your past to now understand, why did I make the choices I made? Especially if it was choices that didn't serve you, especially if it was choices that even made you worse, in a really bad predicament, especially in your self-love. That has to do with your children, that has to do with your significant other, that has to do with your coworkers, that has to do with your friends, because those traumas carry with you, and we make decisions based on those traumas. And sometimes those traumas are not even you.
Mm, come on now.
People need to understand that.
Yeah.
But you're letting those traumas control you. You're letting those traumas control the decisions you make. And just imagine if you didn't have to carry those traumas through the lifetime. Sometimes it's time for us to drop the emotional baggages,
Yeah.
because we carry so much. It's so heavy. And you know what? As a person, you deserve to be lighter.
Mm, mm,
You deserve to be lighter. You deserve that soft life. You
mm.
don't Things don't have to be hard all the time, and you don't have to be hard on yourself or the people that you love and care about. Going to therapy doesn't make you weak. Going to therapy makes you even stronger, because you want to have a stronger relationship with yourself. It brings you closer to yourself. It brings you closer to your pains. It brings you closer to your joys. It is a relationship that, once you get to that place of peace, like I am in right now, no one will ever mess up my peace again.
Mm.
No one. I'm gonna tell you, peace of mind is a mother. I gotta say that. No, nobody. Well, once you are in tune with yourself, you will recognize those signs. And before you say, I'm gonna go in, because you had the trauma will let you go into situations that will only hurt you.
Yeah.
Now, when you're free, now when you drop all those bags down, you do not want to go into any situation that you see that is going to hurt you. Like, you see it, and you're
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm not disturbing my peace.
Yeah.
I'm good over here. Anything that's negative won't even stick on you, because you become Teflon.
I love it. I love it.
That's
Listen,
my therapy
that's a
metaphor.
protective mechanism. That's self-love. That's a demonstration of self-love. Being able to deflect when you see the signs, the warning signs. It's like, nah, I like the way peace tastes. Peace tastes really, really good, and I don't want to disrupt that. So you choose differently. That's what I'm hearing. When you're healed, you then begin to choose differently, and I love that.
When
Now,
you become aware, you get to choose. When you're
mhm,
not aware, the traumas make your choices.
come on, come on.
That is the difference, because your trauma, sometimes you're making choices unconsciously, because it's your trauma
Mm,
that's making the choice. It's not even you, because you're still asleep, you're still hurt. So your choices are not really choices that you're actively making. It's choices because of what your trauma has caused you. So
you
I
pre-
need people to understand why you need to release, why you need to release your traumas.
yeah.
You have
Because,
to release your traumas.
because you're holding on to the baggage, and I think that's another point that you made.
Mhm.
Sometimes the baggage that you're holding on to doesn't even belong to you.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we're holding other people's baggage.
Hmm.
That's why I'm very careful who's around me. I'm very, not like, selective, um, because I feel like sometimes traumas, it transfers. Sometimes, you know how they have the saying, misery likes company.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you could be okay, but you're in a situation where it's like, maybe your significant other is not a healthy person, right? So
Hmm.
that unhealthiness comes and it starts attaching to you. So you start holding your stuff and that person's bag.
Mhm.
right? So sometimes all the trauma is not really all of yours.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to release other people's traumas. Like if your parent is an alcoholic, that is not your trauma. And if they're not at a place where they want to get help, sometimes you have to release that. So
Mhm.
do you understand what I mean? It's not only my trauma, but it's other people's traumas that they don't want to take accountability for. That might be weighing you down also, which becomes your trauma also, because it then affects your life.
Yeah. And you take it on because you're the strong one.
Yes.
So you're like,
And
give it to me.
and women
You're
take it
carrying
on.
that one. Give it to me.
And then we have this title of, let me circle around, strong woman, strong black woman. And
Yeah.
now we're taking on everybody,
Yeah.
everyone's trauma. Like
Yeah.
this. Because we're strong. We can hold it together. We can keep it together. We can smile because we've known how to do this dance all our lives. And
Mm,
inside, we are crying for
mm.
help.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're crying. But we don't want to say nothing to nobody because we don't want to perceive ourselves as being weak. And I'm telling you today, right now, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's
Mm,
okay. It's okay to ask for help.
mm. I love that. I love everything about that. And listen, you talking right to me. You aiming it right at me, because I am one who said that I want to live this soft life. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term, it's one of those cultural, societal things that we've kind of latched onto, and it just means that life doesn't have to be hard. That you don't have to be hard. Your heart doesn't have to be hardened, because again, that's going to be the trauma speaking. So then the choices you make are going to be hardened choices, because you got to protect yourself and you got to be the one building the barrier. And no, when you're living a soft life, and first of all, when we all commit ourselves to Jesus Christ, that's our soft life right there,
And amen.
right? Because we don't have the same worries as the world does. But we didn't get that memo apparently, because we still worry about stuff and we still stress about stuff. But you got to go back in your word. And that's how 5 a.m. prayer time becomes so beneficial, because it grounds you in your truth.
Yes. It
And it,
grounds me in my truth. And I got that from my dad. My dad used to always, when we were kids, he used to always wake up early in the morning, like our whole entire life. And I didn't understand it until we got older because he wanted to give God his time.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
He wanted to sit there and no noise and pray intentionally, not just praying and doing 50 million things, like calling to God and God knowing that this is an intentional prayer. Therefore, if this is intentional, God, I need you to listen. This is important to me. This is important to my family. This is important to my existence. If you want something to happen, let me just tell you something. I have a secret. I believe when we die, we're going to find out that everything we wanted, we could have gotten if
hmm,
we asked for it intentionally. Like, meaning that you're asking for it, but you're also doing the work. You also have the commitment to do the work. It's not like you're asking for it and it's like a magician that just makes it appear. No, and it happening, the secret is, if you do the work, if you show with your actions every day that this is what you want, it will eventually happen for you. But if you're just praying just to be like, oh God, I just want this to happen for me, and you don't do all none of the work, don't let no one fool you that's on social media right now.
hmm,
Anyone who's successful has been doing it behind the scenes for a good 10 years of consistency.
yeah.
People think like everything happened fast because they see you like, oh my gosh, she has it together. Look at her background. Oh, she's speaking. People don't know the story of the work, of the rejection, of the pain, of those crying nights, those days that you doubted yourself, those days that you're like, oh my God, but can is God is this where I'm supposed to be? Like questioning your path, like constantly, especially when things are not working out. People do not know that. They only see the pretty Instagram thing. Oh, here's my reel. Here's my reel. Maybe I look good. Here's my filter. But nobody wants to really talk about. It's not that they don't want to talk about it. I think viewers don't want to hear it
Hmm.
because I feel like viewers hear negative things all the time. So they want to just go to things that are like bright and shiny.
They want to
But you,
fast forward through.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bright and shiny. They don't want to hear this. But I just want people to know, like, if you're in a place of despair and you're looking at the screen and wishing you had that life, let me tell you something. You don't know what life you're wishing for
Mm,
because you don't know what that life is when the cameras are off.
yeah.
So you have to watch what you wish for because you only see like the beautiful stuff. But just like incidents of what's been going on with domestic violence or whatever, and you see one person standing next to their significant other, happy the whole time, right? Who would have thought a video would come out and all of a sudden you're like, what?
Yeah.
But how many people were wishing for that life though?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And didn't even know what was going on behind
Facts.
the scenes, but wishing, I want to be her. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh my God, she's singing. Oh my God, she's with a mogul. I want that life. You gotta stop wishing what you don't really completely know and understand. Because what God has for you will come to you. And that's why I'm a woman that shares information, helps people, because I don't believe in this. Oh, I got to be the only one in the room. I believe in pulling everybody in. That's
Yeah.
my responsibility. God says, once I give this to you, I want you to be fruitful. If you are really a believer of God, you know He got you. Then it's time for you to use what He gave you and be fruitful and help others.
I love it. That
And
that
help
is the word. That's the word. Be fruitful and multiply. How else would you do that if you're keeping
holding it in.
yourself?
See,
Yeah.
if you're holding it, that means you don't believe in God.
Mm.
I don't care what no one tell me. They tell me to go to church every Sunday. I believe in God. And so then why are you working in a place of scarcity?
Yeah.
God is full of abundance. What
Mm.
God has everyone's back, right? So why you in a place like, oh, it can only be me? I gotta keep this to myself. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, come on. Whether you keep it to yourself or not, you're not gonna stop any path that God has for somebody else.
Amen.
Because God will find another way. I've seen God work in crazy ways. Like people are holding off, don't want to help, and God goes and laughs and goes, "Don't worry about it, babe. I
Yep.
got another way."
Yep.
You're only hurting yourself because God is seeing your true colors.
Yeah.
You're not hurting the person that you're supposed to be helping by not giving them that information they need to go to the next place that God wants them to go. If God is testing, I tell people all the time, I share information because how am I supposed to ask of God what I'm not doing for other people?
Mm-hmm.
How dare I say to God, oh God, I need this, I need this, I need this, right? But someone is hitting me up and saying, hey babe, how'd you get this done? I need this. And I'm saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Figure it out. Does
Yeah.
our God say that to us?
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I'm in the business of I'm up here. You figure it out down here. No.
Yeah.
No, you sit there and you pray to him because you're asking for his help. Right? So
Yeah.
that's the same way that you should treat other human beings. Because just how you know how it feels when you feel like God doesn't answer your prayers and you feel some type of way, understand to other people when you're not there supporting them and helping them and saying, well, I did this myself. No, 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 no. Then you shut that person out and then you want God to answer your prayers. No, it doesn't work like that. Universally, I need mental health. I need in this crazy society that we live in, so, prayer is not enough. Like I pray to God, so I have my spiritual armor on me, but I also need the armor that when I walk out this door, I need another layer of armor on me. So there's different layers of armor
Yeah.
that's on me, okay? To protect me from the craziness of society. And that's why mental health is so important. You know, because your mind will mess you up. Your mind will mess you up.
Absolutely.
I see so many people are doing things. Like one time my daughter said to me, "Mommy, my mind told me to do this, but I know I was supposed to do that." And I
Wow.
said to her, wow, you're only 10 years old? She's like, yeah, mom, isn't that's weird, right? And I was like, so just imagine if your mental health is not, it's full of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what's the right thing to do, right? You know it. But because of the trauma in your mental health, you do it, you do the wrong thing, you do a negative thing, and then People are judging you based on your negative thing. And it's not really you as a person.
Yeah.
You're making those choices based on your trauma. That's why I don't judge people when they make mistakes. Because I don't know if that was intentional
Yeah.
or if that was a trauma
Mm-hmm.
that made them make that choice.
Yeah.
Like kids stealing sometimes. Yes, I know not to steal. My 10-year-old knows not to steal. I get it. But I don't know. I'm not making excuses. But I'm not going to judge that person. First of all, it's only God that can judge. People need to understand that. I, I, I don't like when humans talk about God. They love God, but they want to judge every human that's walking on earth. Like, who are you? You're not God. That's number one. Number two, I don't know their story.
Yeah.
I don't know if they didn't eat that day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're surviving. I don't know. So I can't blanketly say this is a bad person. That is between them and God because only God knows the whole entire story of each individual. No one else does. So for me to put a judgment on someone and say they're a bad person, I'd rather not say nothing at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it does boil down to what's going on within ourselves. So, Danny, before I let you go, I'm going to put your social media handles up. Talk to us a little bit more about the Self Love Day. How can we support your efforts?
Well, support my efforts, especially in New York State, by going to your local politician, knowing that this bill is actually already been introduced, but it's up to our politicians to actually make noise to bring it up to the forefront. So speak to your constituents, speak to your assembly men and women, speak to your New York State senators, men and women, anyone in politics, speak to your community organizers. Let the noise come out that we need this for our children. Because you were right what you said earlier. If we could get them as babies when they're very impressionable,
Mhm.
we have more of a chance of destigmatizing mental health. Because my goal is to destigmatize it, to make it the same as the kids are wearing glasses now.
Mhm.
Now there's no more four eyes. My daughter was 8 years old, got braces.
Mhm.
Now it's no more track mouth because it's normalized.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is normalize going to therapy at
Amen.
the earliest of age. So as those kids are growing up and picking their traumas, they can they can deal with their childhood traumas in real time.
I love it. I love it. So we got you on Facebook. We got you on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram, Danny at underscore Benson.com or Instagram. I'm proud of you, sis. Everything is I'm proud of you, sis. If you're looking for me, and if you're looking for me, it's Danny underscore Benson .com or IG, LinkedIn. That's how you find me.
I love it. And you're right here on YouTube. So, everyone, she's on YouTube. So, make certain you check it out. I'm proud of you, sis. She's got a podcast and she's sharing this information and this love.
What do you do? What is your self-love rituals?
Well, I take time for me. I listen to me. I think my favorite one is probably the body scan because that's the nurse in me. So I literally lay in the bed before I get up in the morning and I do a scan. And I double check, make certain everything is good from head to toe. And if there's an area that feels a little out of order, an area where I feel like I need a little support in, then that's where I'm guiding my prayer. I'm praying to God, Lord, touch this stomach, help, to heal, deliver, set free, whatever is going on with it. So I'm very, very intentional about
Mm-hmm.
targeting my body systems to make certain that I'm going to feel my best. And I believe it's Deion Sanders. He says, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. And when you play good, they pay you good. So if your money is funny, you need to check those orders. But the first one, of course, is making certain that you are physically well and mentally well. and then you'll be able to show up on purpose. So I love what it is that you do. I love your podcast, the I'm Proud of You Sis podcast. Tell us why that's so important to you, this term, I'm proud of you sis. I'm proud of you sis. Why is that so important to you?
Well, I discovered something when my kids were little. I always told them, I'm proud of you. I have twin girls. Um, and I noticed there was a glow in them. And I said to myself, what happens to us as women? We were all this young, we were all glowing. And then all of a sudden, we get older and we don't have that glow anymore. And most of us start becoming mean girls to each other, right? So the reason I came up with I'm proud of you, sis, I wanted it to be the motto of how we greet other women instead of saying hello. I want each woman to say, I'm proud of you, sis, because I don't have to know your journey. But as a woman, I'm proud of you because that you are a woman. And when I say that to women, they glow because men never stop congratulating themselves and each other. Since boys, they playing sports, high five, this, that. But we stop congratulating each other. When
Wow.
we're little and we're playing at the park, yeah, you're pretty, da, da. And then all of a sudden it stops. And then we don't hear it until we do something fantastic. Oh yeah, we're proud of you. But I wanted women to know that I'm proud of you every day. Every day, like getting up out of bed and making a choice to get up out of bed and
Yes.
do this game all over again. I
Yes.
am proud of you because you don't have to get out of bed. You
Come on.
can have a choice and say, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm proud of you, sis, because I feel that most women are diversified in so many things that they are doing on a daily basis. I'm not saying nothing about men, but I feel like women have more of a responsibility of having everything together, right? Everything. Children, whatever, if you don't have children, household, cooking, cleaning, laundry. It's like a list of things that we as women, friendships, meeting with our friends, talking to our friends, it's so many things that we have got going on that become very overwhelming. So it's nice when someone says to you, I'm proud of you, sis,
Amen.
because you see me and I see you.
Yes.
And to be seen, what people want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want it because we all feel sometimes we're invisible.
Yeah.
Like we're doing this day and no one sees us. Like we're on autopilot. Or we're on autopilot. So I want women to feel like they are seen. I want women to know that I am proud of them. And that's why I bring women like you. You're coming on my show soon because I am proud of you, sis.
Thank you.
Period. You have done so much to help our community rise. And that's why I too want to give you my flowers to you because you are here for a purpose and you are touching so many different women and you don't even understand the effects that you are making in their life. And that's why I am proud of you, sis. And it's just a way of let's ground ourselves in positivity
Mhm.
instead of being this mean girl thing that doesn't help us as a community. God made us in all different. I tell my kids all the time, life will be boring with all white crayons.
Yeah.
And my kids, that's why people don't understand why it's great to have different color crayons
Hmm.
because it brings different experiences to the table,
Yeah.
right? If you only had white crayons in a Crayola box, there's 364 white crayons. Like, come on, whatever you're putting on the paper would be boring, right? This
Yeah.
is why I appreciate all types of women.
Yeah.
Like the judgment of you have to look like this to be valuable. Like Kevin Samuels is like, oh, you got to be 8, 9, or 10 to be valuable.
Mm.
What? I don't even know. I guess I can't call myself a 7. Whether I call my 6 a 6 or a 5, I'm gonna find someone to love me.
Yeah.
I'm you, and you gotta understand that as women, we shouldn't be tearing each other down
That's right.
because beauty outside does not equate to beauty inside.
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, I'd rather be with someone who's kind or someone who looks beautiful, but they're not kind. Do you understand? So as women, however you look, doesn't matter. Together, we're stronger than apart.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your
Thank you for
encouragement
having me.
on today. Danny, hang out for just a second. Let me give the people their marching orders. Listen, that was good, good, good. And if nobody tells you today, you know that Danny is proud of you and I am proud of you too, sis. So this was such an amazing episode that everyone needs to hear. So make certain you are subscribing, you are hitting the share button, and you are liking and commenting and spreading this positivity because there's enough negativity. We're not trying to be mean girls out here. We want to be God's girls and we want to share this love out. So until next time, you all have a beautiful and blessed week. And I'm going to meet you all back here next week on the Black Girl Encourage Her.